person says, Gamergate never ended. We just call it drama now. Yeah. Yeah, trying to financially ruin a cartoon foxwoman is just drama, by the way. Is this really the first thing I want to post after vanishing for almost 2 months trying to put my life back together? No, obviously not. No, I think you did want to write about this because you guys are terrified of losing the stranglehold of power you have on the entirety of society to ruin people who disagree with you. I don't want to write about the threats, abuse, and harassment a journalist is facing. The cartoon foxwoman reads after having to flee her apartment building for a bunker of safety after contacting her police. I don't want to write about how the House GOP just voted for a bill that will economically destroy the US, make Trump actually immune to judicial oversight, as opposed to the de facto shit he has now, while stripping access to healthcare, including HRT, from as many as 1 in 5 trans Americans. Doesn't that mean that 4 in 5 are still gonna have coverage? So that's actually, like, not a bad statistic? Hold on, wait a minute. And banning the Affordable Care Act plans from covering abortion care. Isn't Affordable Care Act paid by, like, tax dollars? Isn't this the Obamacare that I was getting fined for because I made too much money to get on Obamacare, but I didn't make enough money to afford real health care? So isn't that a good thing that taxpayers aren't going to be beholden to paying for people's abortions? Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Who in the fuck decided to design their blog like an autistic child's MySpace page? Hey! I'll have you know, my MySpace page looked way better than this shit. What does this have to do with ethics in journalism? But that's where we are. A journalist's life has been threatened for 51 days straight for the quote-unquote crime of reporting on a fascist, as well as the creeping air of queer-phobic rot seeping into a multi-million-dollar industry she covers. First of all, I think you mean a journalist is getting shit flung at them after trying to commit life ruination against a cartoon foxwoman, who's not a fascist, by the way, and also is not queer-phobic. What do you mean by this? Like, the majority of my moderators are part of, like, the LGBT people. I tried to have a tea, but they went crazy Gestapo. Or I had a tea, but they decided to message people and be like, what are your thoughts on trans people? Which is really weird for a moderator to do. Like, why would you do that to random people in the community? You fucking weirdo. You don't fear gays. Are they pulling Trump into Gamergate now? They're calling Trump a Gamergater? Imagine. Tim, I literally live with a gay Korean whose mother immigrated here from South Korea. I'm so queer-phobic, guys. And I like how they also, you know, I've been calling Vice a multi-million-dollar media industry, and now they're calling VTubing a multi-million-dollar industry. VTubing is not a multi-million-dollar industry. In fact, VTubing has, like, very little connection in general. This is like saying that all streamers are part of a multi-million-dollar industry. Where exactly is the industry? Like, you have streamer groups like Offline TV and OTK. You have VTuber groups like FaZe Connect or HoloLive. But, like, you don't... Like, I have zero connections to, like, any of these groups and vice versa. Like, you are what you make of yourself in streaming. You can't just call this a multi-million-dollar industry to try and make this sound more scary than it is for a journalist quite literally in the finding out phase of fucking around. VTubing isn't an industry, it's a genre. Kirsche loves gay people so much, she's constantly creating new ones. Get on her level, bigots. One day I will find a man attractive and he will not spontaneously combust into sucking dick. The first step is pretending to be the victim, is to imagine an oppressive monolith that hates you. I fucking guess so. It's being treated as drama when a journalist is receiving death threats. Brother, Anna decided to take themselves off the internet because they couldn't even handle the Twitter heat. Anna used Vice to write multiple hit pieces on me that spawned other hit pieces on other websites that were also filled with libelous inaccuracies. Like, I've been dealing with this from seething Twitter freaks since March, and Anna poured gasoline on that fire. And now I have to stream from a bunker in the middle of nowhere because I was actually getting threats posted alongside my home fucking address. I didn't delete my Twitter. I didn't run away from the internet and pretend I have some sort of media team posting for me. Yeah, I bet while you're out here begging for money, you're paying a media team to write for you. And I'm also still streaming, which is my job. So, like, I don't know what kind of weird victim status you're trying to claim, but, like, maybe just get tougher skin like I had to do, man. The one good thing about growing up how I had to with my mom is I now have a ridiculous sense of resilience. I probably would have folded like fucking cardboard if I didn't have the amount of support I did from you guys and other creators, but still. I was just like, I was kind of built for this, and I wish God would stop giving his most retarded battles to his most autistic cartoons. You know, I'm kind of tired. I just want to become pudding. Oh no, it's the consequences of my actions about blatantly lying on a media aggregate about a person. Oh no! How could this happen? Internet Zen Master, thank you. As an OG Gamergate veteran from 2014 on The Escapist, you literally yelled, "Not to this Cheeto again!" when you heard Gamergate get mentioned. We live rent-free in far too many journalists' heads and you're so damn tired of it. Fucking Anna was trying to coin the term VTubergate for this exact purpose. It's like, come the fuck on, man. Anna was trying to create another Gamergate event but couldn't handle the heat when they got rightfully called out for their bullshit. Yeah, it's been very interesting to see the amount of people who are just like, yeah, I don't really like Kirsche. She's loud and her voice is terrible and I don't really agree with a lot of her opinions, but what's happening is kind of fucked up. So, like, I support the Foxu. It's drama when that creepy natalist couple who beat their kids in front of a journalist are piling onto a movement demanding a journalist kill herself. Well, I'm not gonna believe anything this weirdo writes, but like, what the fuck? Jesse Singal and Katie Herzog's podcast discussed Anna and Kirsche. I also saw that one natalist couple discussed me and Kirsche. I think this issue is quickly becoming a larger political referendum on so-called cancel culture, far beyond VTubing. This is why I'm on an internet break. All the chuds are coming out over this one. It's not just about VTubing. Oh no, the consequences of Anna's own actions. How terrible. How sad. Do you wonder how Barpod covered me? You'll have to listen to that. I feel like it was pretty fair. I didn't know that they were like left-leaning. I just remember Jesse Singal's name because he had been mentioned as one of the people Anna lied about before. And so I felt like for people who know nothing about me and who probably disagree with a good chunk of like the political views that I have, I feel like it was very fair. I feel like it was very fair. They definitely missed a lot of the weird shit that Anna had been doing, but it's like, I think it was a very fair coverage. Anna disagrees with most of the things Anna says. Yeah, like, come the fuck on. You said you were leaving Blue Sky, and now, like, all you're doing is pretending someone else is typing your thoughts for you when you were supposed to have stopped talking about this entire situation, according to you being told that by Vice. You can't continue posting about this situation through a third-party aggregate, so you claim, and still be abiding by what Vice told you to do by not talking about the situation. That's just a little funny to me. I want to know where they get that who beat their kids in front of a journalist thing from, because nothing in Anna's post that I just opened said anything about that. So why are they saying that that creepy natalist couple beat their kids in front of a journalist? Where does that even come from? Is this just more like random ass fucking lies? Like what the fuck? Schizo moment? I mean, probably just more slander. And they probably got it off an anonymous post on Reddit, knowing these people. It's drama when she points out that no other journalistic outlets will even touch the story. Actually, Sportskeeda and Stealth Optional both ran hit pieces on me. I think I'll keep the Sportskeeda one up, though, instead of sending them a cease and desist, because that's basically free advertisement, right? Like, they lied about me, but then the clip of me they put in their article disproves their article title. So, like, I'm pretty sure I'll just keep that one up. They aren't journalists. Is it official that Anna was told by Vice not to talk, or is that a highly likely scenario? Just curious. On Anna's stream, Anna said that they are no longer able to talk about anything to do with me, and yet they have not been able to shut the fuck up because they need to grift off of this for eternal victim status and make some money out of it, I guess.
In my community, you know, we have the politics rule, right? It's like green, yellow, red. After this stream, I'll add it as a rule. I just need to figure out the wording, but anything about the any of the VTuber advice articles I did are just going to be banned from Twitch chat and Discord streams. I mean, Discord, my Discord as topics of conversation. I can't really go into it. It's just, that's just the way it is. We're going to no longer be discussing those things in stream or anything related to it. Any related topics are not going to be topics of conversation either.
Professor McCoy's pop culture review, thank you. You just like to say the level of pettiness to post my letter to the side of the news outlet's building has won you my ever-loving respect. Also, what pants? Thank you. Thank you. I feel like if I was going to send, you know, a civil cease and desist to Vice, it had to be at least on par with what they put out for journalism in current year. There were some people who were really upset that I made my cease and desist look that way, but nah. No, I think that was the only correct way to do it, instead of like a boring legal doc.
Manya!
It's drama when a journalist has to make posts like this. Addendum, for example, when I obtained the cease and desist letter posted to the ex-Vice offices, I feared someone would record me, stalk me, or violently confront me. That was a real possibility not discussed at large. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. What do they mean by ex-Vice offices? Because that's the actual address for the Vice office. Like, that's their listed address. So what do they mean by ex-Vice offices? And also, I press fucking X. There's zero chance that Anna was the one to retrieve that off the door of the office building. Because if Anna did, I don't think they would have turned it into their bosses, and I don't think those articles would have gotten taken down. So, I'm a little confused by what Anna means by this. Did Vice change their offices in the past week? I'm not sure. It's possible if they changed them since I put the cease and desist on the door. I don't know, man. Kirsche accidentally posted her cease and desist on the wrong building. That'd be so fucking funny. That would be fucking funny. Because that is their listed address, man. Like, I had that checked by someone who would cross their I's and dot their T's, as it were. Anna's the collective mind rot at Vice. That would be insanely hilarious if fucking Vice was on the run trying to hide away from a cartoon fox woman. I'm gonna serve you those papers, you bitch! Those were the ex-Vice offices. How did the cease and desist work so fast? Also a good question. They pulled the articles down in under 12 hours. That's why I had to write this. Had to. I'm sure you had to. I'm sure I'm gonna look at this author and they're also going to be an autogynephiliac. Wow, imagine. A woman's life, safety, happiness, and livelihood are all being threatened because of one simple thing. This is actually correct. I am a real and true woman, and my life, safety, happiness, and livelihood have all been threatened by Anna Valens using their position at Vice. But I guess this person wanted to say trans misogyny. I know it's kind of hard to tell because of my Boston accent, but actually I'm not trans. I'm a biological woman. Simple version, a journalist working for Vice has been the target of a harassment campaign reminiscent of Gamergate since April 1st for the crime of reporting on a VTuber agency running lewd lolly models, and an article covering a gamer nootropic company, seemingly unbothered by aggressive right-wing conspiratorial comments made by one of their partners, a popular VTuber unrelated to the previous story. Well, I wouldn't really have called myself popular. I'm pretty small, especially in comparison to a lot of their other partners. I'm small but feisty. We punch above our weight. Kirsche's together strong, buddy. Misogyny, they can't even define a woman. Anna merely adopted womanhood. Kirsche was raised in it, molded by it even. The journo cries out in pain as they them strikes you. True and real. True and real. This is just an entire paragraph of lies. Like, just actually insanity. So the harassment is because she misrepresented the facts or because she doesn't have the authority to speak on gaming or VTuber spaces. I hear you asking, like, this is some kind of good faith discussion. Remember the title? These people are weaponizing that exact assumption. No! No, Anna was trying to weaponize people in order to ruin my livelihood by lying about me and posting things out of context. And they're continuing to do so even after the record had been corrected. Like, it's kind of crazy. All you did was read an article and laugh at Anna's bitching. Imagine if Anna had written in the article smear piece about me and calling me a GamerSubs VTuber, despite GamerSubs being a supplement company and not something like Mythic Talent, right? Imagine them doing even like a modicum of research into the industry that they're trying to speak on, and then mentioning in the article that I made fun of their previous article, and that's probably why that hit piece on me existed. They just couldn't handle being criticized, and I made a much juicier target than either Ilara or Rima.
Spicy cat raid.
And it's like, I guess it's a good thing that I had to deal with a prior harassment campaign of multiple years and people lying about it, because, like, if I didn't have to constantly remind myself that defending myself is not starting drama, I might have had a much harder time with this. If you'd like a quick drinking game before this gets worse, I recommend taking a shot for each one of the gaming publications I'm about to mention that have since shut down. 2, if they also somehow came back. Why? No, dear reader, Anna Valens has been writing about video games since 2016 for sites including Waypoint, Polygon, Fanbyte, Marisu, Daily Dot, and Dot Esports, often with a focus on adult content or competitive games, as well as being a VTuber herself. When you write about a medium that you are a part of, you should also disclose that you are a part of that medium, and so you thus have a vested financial interest in becoming a de facto expert as a journalist on that subject, and especially when you're trying to ruin other people financially in that sector, that you also have the financial incentive to do that because you're also a VTuber yourself. But I'm not a real journalist, I'm just a cartoon fox woman. And also, the majority of their articles have been taken down from these other places because they were focused on adult content, and some of them were absolutely abhorrently disgusting. However, she does have the fucking gall to be a trans woman writing about video games and adult content. I'm gonna go with what Asmongold said here. No one gives a shit if Anna is trans. Personally, I believe, with all of the evidence put forth and everything Anna says about themselves, that they are not dysphoric, they are an autogynephiliac, but literally nobody cares. This could be a straight man, this could be a lesbian woman, this could be any amalgamation of gender special on a spectrum. It's their personality and the content of their character that has made people upset. Because the content of Anna's character is disturbingly bad, and it has nothing to do with them claiming to be trans. How fucking dare a trans woman call out the transphobia implicit in an agency's silence when asked if trans women need even apply? They gave the most, corporate response that they could, because they don't want to get into any kind of politicking. And again, if you know anything about VTubing, you know it is an overwhelmingly female space to be in. Male VTubers complain about this all the time. Male VTubers complain that they can't get as much traction, that they get, dogged on, they get made fun of. Sometimes they even get, called predators when they haven't done anything. Because this is an overwhelmingly female space. How dare one of us filthy, I can't say that word, and why would you say that, point out that a VTuber signed on to well-known Bastion of Understanding, Asmongold's mythic talent is spouting the racist conspiracy, the Great Replacement Theory. I'm not. I'm pointing out the demographic change that you can see with your fucking eyes, that now both Hillary Clinton and Keir Starmer have said, yes, this is happening. Yes, this was by design. Yes, politicians were complicit in this. I am literally parroting left-wing politician talking points, and yet still being told I am somehow blaming the Jews and pushing a Great Replacement Theory. I don't understand. I don't understand these people. How dare she be open and upfront about her experiences and use her platform to call out issues noticeable through her marginalized perspective? Using your logic, wouldn't it also be fucking weird for Anna to see me making fun of them for their VLore article and then use their platform to basically just write about how much they don't like me and want my sponsors to drop me? Like, what do you mean by this? What is she, some kind of journalist? Well, I mean, journalist is basically a slur, but I don't think Anna's even deserving of that title based on the schlock they put out. See? Trans misogyny. Absolutely not. Yeah, that's really it. Again, a trans woman was honest. Honest is like the farthest thing away from Anna that you could possibly get. I like how they're really trying to assert that this is trans misogyny. You're not going to be able to continuously use someone else's trans identity as a shield from criticism. Anna wanted to libel. Anna wanted to write a hit piece on me. Anna wanted to lie about me and go after my sponsors to try and ruin me financially. And now Anna is finding out that their actions have consequences. I don't want to see them harassed, but what can I do? It is way out of my hands. It has been platformed by many creators much larger than me. It has been taken on podcasts. People are unhappy with Anna's actions, not with Anna's identity. Let's step back and explain things more completely. On March 31st, Anna's first of 4 stories, not counting a one-off she wrote for them in 2016, were published on Waypoint. On April 1st, she published "These VTubers want you in their lewd game you might want to pass." The article is about Vialore and their Gen 2 casting call. You can still read it, so I'll summarize quickly. Vialore, an adult-focused VTubing agency, sounds like a great deal on paper, and for current models, seems to have been great in practice. Yet the language they've used since their first auditions has been concerning. They only wanted female talent, not women. When asked if trans women need even apply, Vialore never responded. And we have archived screenshots of like Anna asking multiple times on Twitter, and then they went to a Vialore stream and asked them directly there, which is where like the article got born out of. On March 29th, Vialore hosted a stream advertising the Gen 2 auditions. The stream itself was framed as the Gen 1 girls providing their audition tips and tricks. That stream did include clarification that trans women were welcome to apply to Gen 2, just so long as they, 1, go by female pronouns, and 2, live life as a woman, and 3, sound like a woman. Number 1, there's no such thing in English, but sure, does that mean I'm out because I use she and it? Number 1 is go by female pronouns. And they're addressing number 1 by saying there's no such thing in English. I don't understand what kind of brain damage these people have. So they're just illiterate. I'm sure they're trying to say that, well, she and her are for women and they specified they want females, not women. So, I mean, what female pronouns are they talking about? Those don't exist. Number 2, ew, what does that even mean? Were you going for that skeevy, you can only have HRT once you've lived as a woman with no medical help for 2 years, torture masquerading as medicine vibe? If so, A+. You can only have HRT once you've lived as a woman with no medical help for 2 years? Torture masquerading as medicine? What did they mean by this? Nice straw man. Is that a sentence? I guess they're saying that like the medical industry is also trans misogynistic because they make you live as a woman before giving you HRT, but I don't know how true that even is. Schizo shower thoughts. And number 3, I am a woman. When I bark, I still sound like a woman. Again, I used myself as an example in my video when I talked about how absolutely silly Anna was for making a hit piece on Vialore. If I was to apply to Vialore with my voice as is right now, and I was just like, hey yo, I'm a part of Vialore, I'm gonna suck your cock when you get back from the packy, brother. Come on, baby, don't you want this? They'd be like, what the fuck is this? And throw me in the garbage, right? Like they'd just be like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but this isn't a moneymaker right here. Fucking give me that cock, baby. It used to be that doctors used to actually make sure someone was trans before trying to treat them, and now it's just hormones go. Some doctors and endocrinologists want people to present as women before they offer HRT, but it always depends on the doctor. Okay, that makes sense. Because I remember, again, the like lawsuit against the NHS in the UK was because they were fast-tracking people onto hormone treatment without any sort of like double checking kind of nonsense. Once you go Boston, you never go back. I only use my powers for shit posting, chat. And I put more effort into my shit posting sexy content than a lot of people put into their actual sexy content. Monia. You can see why harassment would start over coverage like that. How dare a trans woman care about transphobia? I'm so sick of hearing this. Like, every time I see these people lie about transphobia, I just want to hit them with the meme, the like, it's not fear, it's disgust, but then people would take that out of context, and I'd get fucked. It's just like, I'm just so sick of it, man. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares if you're trans. They care if you're being a piece of shit. Wait, I'm being told I've only talked about 25% of the article. Oh right, the lolicon, sorry, the exclusivity. Vialore says straight up no to female for female content, as the agency says it cannot ensure success if it creates content for queer women. You don't need to be in an agency. If you want to create female for female ASMR, you can just do that on your own. Like, again, if you were in the VTubing community, you know that it is overwhelmingly females who are VTubers, and it's an overwhelmingly male audience. Like, yeah, you're gonna find outliers. You're gonna find people who have carved a niche for themselves. Why couldn't you have done that instead of writing a hit piece crying about how you can't join some fucking company? If you would just put work and effort into whatever weird, degenerate ASMR you were doing, instead of attacking a bunch of biological women, maybe you could have been making money. Maybe no one would have fucking cared. I was just like, God damn, man. Just fucking stop tweeting. Start making content. You want to be a part of like some VTuber community, maybe stop attacking the VTubers and carve your own fucking niche. That's what I did. I didn't join a company. Why pigeonhole your company into content for less than 0.1% of the world population? It seems like a bad business move. And I could even understand the like, well, if they overwhelmingly do content for men and the overwhelming audience is for men, they could have one talent that does content geared towards women. And it's like, yeah, they could, but they don't want to. They said that they can't ensure success, and I agree with that. If their audience is overwhelmingly male and they have the statistics to prove that, they can't guarantee that someone making exclusively for female content is going to be able to take off. They're not going to have that overlap with the other gen mates that typically happens when VTubers get into a company and they have a full gen. Like, they can't force people to watch your content. We're so close to hearing Kirsche's masshole accent coming to the forefront, saying "fucking" instead of "fucking." I always like to pronounce the U because it sounds more aggressive. The "fucking." Why can't Coca-Cola make me Pepsi? That's why they hate you. You proved it's doable, so now they can't deny their failure. It's just that they suck. It's like nobody cares about your identity, man. They care about your personality and the actions that you take, and those make you a shitty person. Straight content is the vision of the company because of an established method. It will always be female for male content, and I can't see that changing at this point in time. And again, like, there are other companies. Why not apply to them? Why did you have to target this one? What was the issue? Why did you even feel like you needed a company? You don't have to be in a company to be a successful VTuber. Like, even if you don't want to use me as an example, you have like Bao, you have Shy Lily, you have I don't fucking know, fucking all the VShoho girls before VShoho existed. They were all massively successful. Phillian is another great example, yeah. These are probably like the people who see that we're part of Mythic talent and doesn't understand what Mythic is or how we even got signed to them in the first place. Shondo, another great example of a hugely successful indie. Olivia, another example. Yeah. I'm bad at names, thank you guys. Did I see Bao saying for Wuthering Waves? I did. Bao's got a very nice voice. Doki, Alana. Yeah, very, very good examples, dude. Mari _en. Dude, we were fucking like roughly the same size. She was like a little bit larger than me, I think, when we first started collabing. Fucking love that fucking fish, dude. I'm gonna take her to my bunker. Alex Jones was right. Manya. See, in these managed idol-style VTubing arrangements, the girls aren't auditioning their own personas, they're auditioning more like a traditional actress, or the Korean and Japanese managed pop idols. The agency may shape the model around or for the girls they cast, they may cast the girls to fit the roles, or split the difference with a bit of both. It's akin to getting a job as one of the princesses at Disneyland. Yeah, you're Snow White, but if you do something Disney says Snow White wouldn't do, you're gone. This person unironically seems to know more about VTubing than Anna does themselves. I'm not saying this to defend any of Veeler's talent, rather to inform the context of what I'm about to say. 2 of the 5 Gen 1 models are lollies played by adult women, but still designed to be as childlike as possible. Additionally, Veeler has a baffling policy that their talent may only make straight content. I'm going to give in to the capitalist brainworms for a second here. Why on earth would you want to limit your market like that, before even getting to the fact that most lesbian porn is made for men? Because that's what the audience is. I mean, maybe occasionally they could come out with something that instead of using, like, you know, male addressing pronouns, they could use fucking they, them, or whatever. I don't fucking know. Just use you instead of male pronouns, but, like, this is what they want to do. This is their business model. And who are you as, like, some outsider who can't apply to tell them that they need to change that? The audience are mostly men, not lesbians. Aren't gay people a minority? They are. And I'm not saying like that content shouldn't exist, but if this company doesn't want to make that content and they don't see it as profitable, I don't see what the issue is there. It's not like they accepted Anna into the company and then found out Anna was trans and then kicked them out, right? It was just like oh, hey, if you meet these qualifications, you're more than welcome to apply. Why would you focus on a single core audience? She's right. Just look how great video games did, going for wide appeal. True. Suffice to say, VLR fans were very normal about Anna. Brother, I barely even knew anything about VLR when I made that video, and I'm sure a lot of us who have been calling out Anna's despicable behavior against the company weren't even fans. We just increased their reach to a wider audience because we were talking about how poorly they were treated. All VLR asks is that you don't sound like men. Oh god, and like I don't know if it's true or not. I never got reached out to by anyone, but I had a few people tell me that like I guess the VLR girls didn't appreciate that I made a video on their situation at all because I was causing drama. I don't know if true. I hope not true, because it's like if I feel like people are being treated poorly, I would like to defend them regardless of if they interact with me or not, like I did with Cam earlier, and we'll get to that. Comes the classic anti-lolly boob size of consent. Yeah. I was like, I hope that's not the case, and I hope I was just getting like weird whispers told to me that was just lies. I hope that's true. And so it's just like, I hope that's not true, because like I would feel kind of sad in that case, because that was the catalyst for me getting my entire life uprooted, and I'm now having to hide in a bunker, you know? You like VLR, but if they're mad that I'm causing drama, they're fucking retarded. It's crazy. And I can't again remember like where this was said, but like for some reason defending yourself in the VTubing sphere is constantly seen as starting drama. And a lot of cancel culture people in general, not even in the VTuber sphere, but just all over the place, they count on you not wanting to start drama, right? So cancel culture works because the people that it targets will stay silent and just deal with it because they don't want to create any issues. This is what we need to stop. If someone is trying to campaign a company or a convention to get you removed because they don't like the things that you say, absolutely, you should be saying things about it. You should be doing what Cam did. You should be recording them if you can legally. You should be keeping all of your receipts, and you should be outing these people for the spineless cucks that they are. Cancel culture needs to be not profitable. It needs to be not even a thought that companies can have. Just like Kim Belair said that you need to strike fear into these companies if they don't do what you want, you need to make these companies understand it's going to be way worse if they capitulate to these people. These people do not buy your product. They just want power and control over who can and can't have financial access to things. And so you need to let these companies know, hey, I'm the one who provides you financially. I'm the one who buys your products, and I'm not going to anymore if you capitulate to these crazy people. Asking too much of people consumed by apathy, most will just look the other way. I agree with you, unfortunately, but like this is the correct thing to do. And there were people like trying to dog on Camelot for having recorded the guy, kicking him out of the convention, and being just incredibly hypocritical in their conversation. Cam did the right thing. Cam 100% did the right thing. And it was the same with me releasing DMs from Lysander about Offkai. Everyone started getting up in arms. They were just like, Kirsche's creating drama. She should have just kept her mouth shut. She's ruining this for other people. Like, she should have just dealt with it. It's obvious why they don't want her there. She's throwing her friends under the bus. She's ruining her friendships. Like, she's never going to get to talk to these people again because she's acting this way. And it's like, those people are the problem. Those people are like coon-brained ideologues who just don't understand how the real world works. And they want their protected little bubble to stay safe from anyone saying something that they enjoy is acting in a bad manner. Kirsche should just lay back and take it. And that's pretty much the overwhelming opinion whenever anybody speaks up about how they've been canceled. And that's what we need to change here. And I feel like it is changing. The overwhelming response of support that I have gotten, the overwhelming support I've seen for what happened to Camelot, and I think this needs to keep happening. Anyone who gets cancel cultured, keep those receipts, fucking post them, out the hypocrisy and the spinelessness of the companies and the conventions you were working with. Friendship with Pippa ruined. Meanwhile, Pippa hosts Kirsche to live with her for a full month. And it's just like, it was actual insanity to see some people like making up this weird headcanon about how like, you know, she hates me and we're not friends anymore. Like just literally making their own fan fiction. And it's like, why would I ever want you near me if these are the thoughts that you have, you fucking psychopaths? This is the same policy they have in public school. If you dare fight back while someone is beating you, you get suspended. Yeah, the fucking zero tolerance policy has done a number on people's mental health when it comes to defending yourself in these situations. Defending yourself is always the correct thing to do. You do not punish both victim and offender. You only punish the offender. Asmon's talking about me right now. What?
I don't like you. I don't like what you stand for. I don't like the values that you're trying to push. I don't like the agenda that you have. I don't like the fact that you try to get people canceled. I don't like anything about you. So the fact is that if I have a way that I can fight back against that, I will, in the same way that you tried to fight back against her. So you're not mad that you're having people fighting. You're mad that you're losing. And you're going to keep losing.
Mad that they tried to ruin me and instead found out.
That's the thing. We cancel the cancelers. That's right. No, and you want to go and cry. I'm getting harassed. I'm getting bullied. Kirsche got threats. She had to evacuate her house. You think that didn't have anything to do with you?
Chat, we're not dating.
If it has anything to do with you, then I guess maybe anything that my viewers do doesn't have anything to do with me. Nope, I'm not trying to hear about it. I don't give a fuck. I don't have any sympathy. I don't care how you feel. I don't care the negative ways that you get interacted with.
My care is long gone at this point.
None of that fucking matters to me. If you don't want people to criticize you and you don't like people saying this stuff, too fucking bad. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, don't start shit if you don't want shit.
Stop fucking around. That's it. You can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's the way it goes. And burn these weirdos to a ground? Metaphorically, of course.
Yeah, metaphorically.
They hate being held to their own standards. That's right. See, they love using these arguments and getting a hate mob against somebody else. But the moment that somebody criticizes their own behavior, now somehow, oh, it's out of context. Oh, it's different. And we're supposed to just believe that all this stuff, like pushing homophobia
Chat, you're making me blush.
and racism,
shut up.
like, what are you talking about? Allowing people who admittedly are Nazis in their community? What is she, their fucking dad?
True.
Like, what are we going on? What's the great replacement theory? It's the idea that, well, there's two versions of it. So there's first version, there's the super version and the base version.
I thought there was only one version.
The great replacement theory is that white people are being replaced demographically, and they will continue to be replaced demographically. The extreme version of that is that Jews are replacing white people demographically intentionally through different types of government
I thought that was the only
controls.
one, because the other one is just...
So those are the two, that's
like
the two
politicians
versions of it,
said
right?
it, right?
What about lizard people? Yeah, sure. And especially Muslims. Well, I've never heard the Jew aspect. Well, you need to start listening more. And anyway, so this is something, and also, like, by the way, saying demographic changes happen because of immigration or migration, there are evidence demographic changes. The problem, that's not the great replacement theory.
Yes, correct.
Identifying demographic changes is not the great replacement theory.
Correct.
And this is the same kind of stuff that this is the problem that these people have.
But this is how they paint you as a terrible person.
They try to turn something, like they try to turn a mountain into a molehill into a mountain. You're wrong? No, I'm not. It's very, very obvious what the difference between the two things are.
Yes.
And everybody knows that.
Yes.
So, yeah, and also, like, everything is all or nothing. Yeah, everything's all or nothing. And so you have this happen. Now, this girl is going to go and cry and complain and get mad about it. And she says now she's afraid because, like, is crazy, won't stop attacking me. I'm not attacking you. I'm simply responding to you. And if you take that as an attack, I wonder what people think that I wonder how people feel whenever you respond to them.
Exactly.
Surely they're don't.
And Asmon and I never went after any of Nyara's forms of income, whereas Nyara has tagged GamerSups and other people directly trying to get me dropped from my sponsors.
You need to stop making posts and making statements on public platforms. Because if you make a statement that I disagree with on a public platform, I think that I have the right to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody agrees with that. And that's why you're mad. You can cry about it and get mad as much as you want, and I'm going to just keep doing it. That's it. Just don't be a scumbag? Yeah. And especially name dropping you. Yep, absolutely. And create morbid fantasies, their enemies being every possible thing. Yep, exactly. Sorry, but I disagree with you. Whites are being replaced large scale, concentrated efforts, very intentional. I don't want to argue with you about some bullshit like that, right? Like, I mean, I think that, like, listen, if it's not enough for you to say, like, I very clearly said that, like, yes, demographic changes happen, for sure. They definitely do.
Has been talking about the great replacement theory? Oh, no.
Is that a bad thing, a good thing, or whatever? But I'm not going to go and fucking go on some, like,
12.
white supremacy tirade about this shit, okay? It's just not my thing.
Yeah,
like, I understand a lot of other people feel that way. That's not my vibe. I don't really care about that stuff. If somebody else wants to go and do that, that's okay. But that's just what my opinion is. Is that white supremacy, though? Is it white supremacy? I mean, demographic replacement, is it white I don't think so, no.
Yeah, it's
I
not,
mean, like, it's not...
It's not white supremacy to say you don't
like,
want
I would
white
say,
people
like,
to
supremacy
disappear.
is whenever you think that a race is inherently better than another race. Like, that's what white supremacy is, right? I mean, that's primarily it. So dumb to push this stuff online.
It's why they said
exactly.
that it's okay to be white is a white supremacist dog whistle.
How is objecting your racist replacement supremacy? Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I think that there's, like, a lot of nuance to it. But there are people that do it for racial reasons, too, obviously. But, yeah, people love to cry about this, and they love to get mad and stuff like this. But I just want you to know that, you know, for years, we've had to live under the thumb of people that are like this, that have constantly tried to cry bully their way into making every single person
I need to hear my
behave
husband,
and
I'm
act and
sorry.
say what they want. And those days are over. Those days are over, and I'm going to do my best job to kill them as well as I can.
Metaphorically, of course.
And I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's very fun for me to do this.
Oh,
and yeah,
my
I hate
husband is
people
a
that are like
serial
this.
killer,
I
chat.
hate everything they stand for. I hate the way they behave. I don't like anything about them. And so I hate what they represent. I hate everything about them. And that's it. Probably kill is the wrong word. Well, I mean, it's killing an idea, not killing the people, obviously. It's crazy. I mean, what do you think? You're like them? No, that's what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem. They're the ones sending the death threats. People are going to misunderstand you again? Of course.
They always do.
Of course, who cares? Somebody misunderstands me on purpose. What happens? There's like a Twitter thread and 5 people are mad and I get to react to it and make content about it tomorrow?
Monetize your haters, chat.
Like, why would I give a fuck about that? Yeah, like, it doesn't matter to me at all. Yeah, when I talk, yeah, it's gonna bring in more views, more people are gonna watch.
Back to this weird article. They bring up Celestium here. Reading this article, it looks like Vice doesn't know what a female is. A female is a biological woman. Well, I don't watch VLR. This piece has bias written all over it. Mainstream media has been poisoned for at least half a decade. I'm honestly not surprised at this. Yeah, it's true and real. Again, I even mentioned that when Anna made that tweet. I was just like, that's interesting how for the longest time they were trying to say that there's a difference between women and females, and now they're getting upset at that. And so why is this Gamer Subs VTuber pushing the Great Replacement Theory was published on April 21st? Well, I was starting to worry for Anna. Why would you worry for Anna when I had already had a harassment campaign against me going on for over a month, and also they erroneously put Gamer Subs in the title as a way to try and hedge their bets that Gamer Subs would want to just drop me because I would be bad press for them. It would be bad OPSEC if they were in the head of a title of an article talking about this associated with me. And also, why did they drop it just as I went on vacation? Why did them dropping this article coincide with me literally leaving and them sending a message to my manager instead of my Twitter DMs, which are open, by the way, and they're obviously very active on Twitter at that point? Why would they send it to my manager before work hours and then drop the article less than 15 minutes later after I've already left for vacation? I wonder why someone would do that. Link is to an archive as the original has been removed. We're getting to it. I can, Anna did while writing this, write a whole essay on why the odd space VTubing occupies can be a right-wing radicalization pipeline in other ways mediums don't. But I could also write that about every medium. If you see right-wing radicalization everywhere, maybe take a step back and think maybe you're the one that's radicalized and all this right-wing radicalization you see is just normal everyday humans and you're making a mountain out of a molehill. You're being a little schizophrenic here, lady.
your meds, schizo.
It doesn't change the fact that, yes, VTubing has a right-wing problem. I've personally heard VTubers complain about it for years. Even if that wasn't the case, Asmongold, a right-wing problem incarnate, founded a talent management agency called Mythic Talents. 53 of their listed talent are VTubers. The only tag more populous than VTuber is Variety, which most of the VTubers are also tagged with. Oh, did I mention Mythic Talent represents the VTuber in question? Kirsche Verstall. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't her name mean cherry stealer in German? Kind of an odd name for a kitsune, but then if a Japanese mythical creature wanted to be a white lady, I guess being German isn't that much weirder. I wish my Parkinson's wasn't in overdrive, because I would love to just stare blankly at what the fuck I just read. How many times have I looped on how I got my name? How many fucking times? And these creatures hate watch me, so you would think at least one time they would get it right. Did they like go to one of the fucking Synthetic Man threads on Kiwi Farms to like read about me? Is that what's happening here? There was some Kiwi Farm weirdo schizoing about your name. I'm sure there were, because Kiwi Farm schizos about me quite a bit. I still like a handful of the people there though. They've still got nice autistic archivers that are wonderful. Did you know that Verstall isn't actually German for stealer? It's not even a real word! I literally made it the fuck up!
Made it the fuck up!
For my Final Fantasy XIV character! I had to try so hard to not call that game by its real name. I've linked the archive of the story above, but in short, GamerSupps has sponsored Kirsche since September 2023 and revealed a Kirsche merch for pre-sale in March of this year. And it demonstrated that GamerSupps should have been aware of Kirsche's far right-wing beliefs before signing her, and that her fans see her as openly right-wing, and that Kirsche herself has never been shy about sharing her feelings about trans women. Oh, so this is me agreeing with Asmongold saying trans kids are victims of parents with mental illnesses. I mean, yeah, he's just right. He's just right. 10 years ago, this would have gotten you cancel cultured. They tried to do it to me in current year, and it's failing. Thank God. Common sense is prevailing. Let's see. Black Lives Matter. What's this one go to? Oh, God. Man, where are my screenshots? Where are my screenshots asking my mods about this? I know we compiled them to put in a document. But I need those. I want to bring those up. I want to bring those up right now. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. So thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. So in my chat with my mods, let's see. Where is this this post? Right. This was on April 16th at 2:31 a.m. I don't know if that's my time zone or whoever archived this time zone. But these were also April 15th at 10 p.m. So you could see here, April 16th at 2:31 a.m., April 15th at 10 p.m. I was like, would this be bad to post? Who wore it better? Because sometimes when I go to make an edgy joke, I have to ask some of my moderators if this would cause headaches for people. I feel like everything will get me called racist, but I don't want to bring more headaches to Mythic or GamerSupps than normal. Lamau. Who wore it better is a pretty well-known meme, so I think these are both clear cases of criminals. It should be okay, and the image of the woman has been memed to hell and back. Even side-scrollers posted her. And yeah, I'm talking facial expression, not clothing, so it's a bit different, referring to the who wore it better joke, but I think the joke still comes across, maybe. So all of these people, including Anna Valens, who have been trying to paint me as a racist for posting this, saying that I wish, like, all black people would die or some crazy shit, and, like, been to posting that, like, Wikipedia page of police shootings and demanding I explain why all of them deserve to die, actually just look like fucking psychopaths. So just headaches for the mods. Remind me to never apply. Yeah, if you're my moderators, you gotta deal with this shit. This sounds like projection on their end. Yeah, receipts of receipts. Yeah, when I make like super edgy jokes, sometimes I want the confidence of my mods telling me it's okay. Isn't the number of police black shootings single fucking digits? Don't bring in statistics. They'll call you racist too. Some stuff gets sent to the oppression olive. Yeah, it all goes back to the oppression olive chat. So some things I'm just not allowed to do for my own good. So this is where they're trying to call me racist. Immigrants is going to be about Lawrence, Massachusetts, which anyone with eyes knows that that's been a crime-ridden, illegal immigrant town for a million years. No, this is just about illegal immigration in the first place. I had an artist that I contacted, actually, who agreed to work with me, and then some other people were like, oh, you shouldn't work with her. She's a racist Nazi, and she would hate you because you're trying to immigrate. And so, like, thankfully, this artist had brain cells, and they actually talked to me instead of just believing what other people say. And I was like, if you're trying to, like, get a green card and, like, immigrate legally, like, fuck yeah, dude, go for it. I'm happy to pay you money and for that money to go towards that. Like, why would I have a problem with this? I have a problem with illegal immigration, dude. Like, what? Suffice to say, they're not positive. Well, I mean, that's just like your slanted opinion, man. The most contemptuous Jules in her riment of vile choices managed to not only be awful, but thematically linked. On one end, she retweeted a fan posting an official plushie of her with an assortment of fascist texts with a particular focus on Nazi works. They even got 3 of the 4 obvious Nazi symbols in the shot too. The Iron Cross, the Eagle, and a swastika. Just missed out on the SS lightning bolts. The Iron Cross is not a Nazi symbol. It was used far before the Nazis used it, and it's still in use in the German military today. I don't know why these people keep saying that. And also, I didn't see the fucking swastika, as it is like 2 pixels fucking big. I saw cute sleeves, and I saw cute boots, and I should have assumed that this femboy would be a Nazi because that's how they are on the internet, but fuck me for just wanting to appreciate someone who bought a plushie of mine. And Kirsche, picking fallacy, you were retweeting all of your plushies? I was, but they just want to focus on this one. Oh, they're just like, well, why didn't she delete it? I did, after I got back from my vacation. I didn't want to delete it sooner because if I deleted it, everyone would just be like, oh, she's hiding the evidence of her being a Nazi. She's only doing this because she got called out and that's not good enough. She has to do more than just that. It's like, I don't want to fucking deal with you freaks, man. I don't want to fucking deal with you. On the other, she retweeted the White House ICE tip line tweet. Ooh, I retweeted an official government hotline to get rid of illegal immigrants. What a Nazi! Look, I'd maybe give a creator the benefit of the doubt for doing the first one. Fans try to get the things they're fans of to support other things they like. We all make mistakes, and a creator could miss a portion of an image they shouldn't, but they could. Seriously, do normal people just not check like a month of past posting before sharing something from someone they don't know? No! That's not normal! Normal people don't have time to do that! I don't have time to do that! What the fuck? That's an extreme crime. What the actual fuck are they talking about with it? That's fucking weird, dude. That's fucking weird ass behavior. Jesus fuck. But that doubt goes out the window when you repost the explicitly racist secret police abduction tip line. Explicitly racist secret police abduction tip line. I don't give a shit if you're from Mexico or Colombia or Nicaragua or fucking Vietnam, South Korea, China, the UK, Belgium, Denmark, fucking, I don't give a shit. If you're here illegally, you're gonna have to get the fuck out. Like, I don't care what you are. Everyone was very normal again. The usual suspects are being very normal, claiming there's a call for a Gamergate-style cleanse of the VTubing industry. What does that even mean? I don't know, Anna. What does that even mean when you called it VTubergate? I don't know. Yeah, obviously not. On May 8th, Waypoint published VTubing has an elephant in the room, bigotry, another article by Anna Valens. In the 2 and a bit weeks since the GamerSupps article, at least one prominent VTuber, Rin Penrose, announced she was ending her partnership with GamerSupps due to their associations with creators whose views strongly conflict with my own, as well as a lack of communication from the company on the issue. Naturally, the replies to her announcement were a swiftly churning gyre of right-wing phrases from the last few years. Prominent VTuber earns $20. Yeah, I was just about to get to that. Fucking Rin Penrose, one prominent VTuber. Can we bring up the statistics here? Do we really need to do this? Like, I hate number friending, man. But like, if these guys are gonna parade around Rin Penrose's corpse as like a cudgel to beat me with. like, yeah, they might have almost 1 million subs, but they're fucking dead subs, dude. I get like quadruple the live viewership of Rin. I make like quadruple the income per stream of Rin. So if you're gonna call Rin a prominent VTuber, I'm like basically the final boss here, baby. Like I'm the most prominent VTuber in that case. Like, come the fuck on, dude. Like, why are you doing this? I want to know who convinced Rin Penrose to like fucking throw herself on a pit fire here, because this was the dumbest decision you could have made. Like, why would you do this? Never even heard of Rin. They were a part of Idol before Idol sold to Brave. Idol being the Israeli-owned VTuber group, who also I was in talks with their CEO with to get management from. And my like thing that I was talking about with them is like, I wouldn't want to join Idol as like a gen member, because I wouldn't want the other girls to suffer any fallout from any of the political shit that I say. That was like my biggest issue, where it was like, I would love to like, you know, enter into management stuff with you guys as like a freelancer sort of thing, but I wouldn't want any of the other girls in the company to have any sort of negative effect due to it. I wouldn't want people trying to like accuse them of agreeing with my beliefs or anything simply because we were managed by the same company. But then they got sold to Brave, and you know, that didn't go through. Rin has the asexual, agender, non-binary stuff going on and insists on being called a prince. I mean, that's fine if that's what they want to do, right? But like, why decide to try and push around weight that you don't have to get a sponsor of mine to drop me? Like, just because you're not making any money from your sponsor doesn't mean that you should try and get them to get rid of me. That's kind of crazy. People went after Idlecore hard because of the Palestinian crap. I wouldn't even know. Jewish CEO hires a literal Nazi Hitler. I mean, don't people call Nux a Nazi and he's literally a Jew? Like, oh god. Hey everyone, Rin is ending her partnership with GamerSup. See, nobody cares. She was fun for a while until she went down the weird rabbit hole. It's just like, she could have just stayed in her lane and kept doing whatever the fuck content she does and try to rebuild her audience. But it's like, I guess maybe she thought dunking on me would be a way to reignite her fucking dying channel. I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know. It's like, I typically don't bother like dunking on other VTubers, but like at this point, with what she did to me and with how everyone is using her as a cudgel to try and beat me with, it's like, I'm fucking sick of it. I'm fucking like, gloves off, dude. I'm sick of you. Fair game if she tried to dunk on you first. Yeah, it's like, I'm fucking exhausted, dude. She's friends with Joe Cat, your guess? It was to stand with a friend thing? Which would be even dumber, because Joe Cat didn't even give up his fucking sponsorship. His contract had already ended. He just did it to virtue signal. Yeah, he likes women unless they disagree with him. What a fucking skeeve. The rest of the article was an extremely thorough documentation of the harassment, misgendering, threats, and general suffering right-wing VTubers and fans had been throwing at her. Me! I was the one getting harassed by Anna and all of the freaks believing the libel that Anna posted. I hate this. I hate this Darvo nonsense, dude. Was being the operative word, as the article was also taken down sometime on May 14th. Frankly, I found Anna too willing to hold empathy and respect for those who have shown they wouldn't do the same for her. So what you're saying is I should throw caution to the wind and start using Anna's power word at this point instead of holding back for simply not wanting to kick up even more of a hornet's. What you're saying is I have now free reign to use Anna's power word. It's a mark toward her character. If one I personally disagree with. No, Anna's character is fucking disgusting. It's a personal bugbear of mine that we expect one party, usually the one under assault, to empathize when the same respect is not given to them. Actually, I agree. You're completely correct with this, except you kind of reversed victim and offender in your retelling of the story here. After an anime tea company told me to kill myself. That will never not be a funny line. Why did Anna write that? Why would you write it that way? Please, I'm begging. For shining a spotlight on systemic transphobia, misogyny, and fucking lolicon, I would not be this respectful. I am a single fucking anime foxwoman. Via lore is not a massive corporation. There is no systemic anything you fuck with. But then I do have the benefits of being an independent rando. What I don't have is a publication and management backing me up. Oh, so you agree that Anna was erroneously using a platform to write hit pieces on people that they disliked. I hate that ending on that line would be a stunning indictment of today's journalistic culture and quite accurate for this tale. On May 12th, Waypoint published Waypoint Stands with Anna Valens by Dwayne Jenkins, managing editor at Waypoint. It's the kind of thing we just haven't really seen out of journalism in a minute. Yeah, that's because he was wrong. A manager stepping up to defend his reporter from harassment, defend his reporter who's harassing a woman, and advocate for the veracity of her writing. Too bad it, as well as the Gamersupps article and the one documenting all the harassment, came down sometime on the 14th after Kirsche allegedly threatened to sue Anna and Vice. It wasn't allegedly, I did. I put it on their fucking door. It was not allegedly. You can take that out. I will not speculate on who chose to pull the articles, though an educated guess would be that neither of the journalists were the deciding voice. However, there's one more wrinkle left. Anna has OCD. Who the fuck cares? I have anxiety. Woo! Who the fuck cares? How is this relevant? And while I doubt I have to explain to my regular audience that TV depictions of OCD, like all neurodivergence, are at best complex syndromes flattened to the aspect neurotypicals notice more than caricatured, I feel it's best to repeat it. We're talking about a disorder characterized by intrusive thought. Oh, they're going to the POCD thing. Oh, they're going to the POCD. The thing that's totally definitely not just map talking points repackaged. That's totally definitely not an actual thing that victims of abuse in childhood would go on to fear in adulthood, that's been co-opted by people who have a reason to try and hide behind something that's a real medical diagnosis for a very small number of people and then try claiming it for themselves. Definitely not something that's also a track record with these people doing with, I don't know, transgender identity. And why would someone just go around and do that on the internet? I don't know. I must stress, if you haven't experienced an actual intrusive thought disorder, please try to read this piece I wrote on my BPD. Oh, of course this person's bipolar. No, BPD and OCD are not the same. I don't have the compulsion aspect. My intrusive thoughts are almost always about how I deserve to be abandoned and that self-deletion would therefore be a moral good. Well, those do not sound like good thoughts to have. Keep that in mind when I tell you that Anna has overcome worse than mine. See, OCD isn't curable, but like all its ilk, it can be treated and you can learn to overcome specific aspects. Anna has OCD and used to have POCD. I don't think that's how that works. I'm not a doctor, chat, but I don't think you can completely cure OCD. I feel like that's something that you learn to like live with throughout your life and you kind of develop coping mechanisms for it. So it's someone with OCD in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong, but like I don't think you cure OCD. Technically they still have it. BPD is borderline personality disorder, frequently confused with bipolar. Oh, sorry. I did not remember borderline personality disorder. I only remembered bipolar. Thank you. That they could be meaning borderline and not bipolar. You are correct, chatter. There it is, POCD spotted. How do you even cure it? If I speak, I will be banned. Anna has OCD and used to have POCD, a subset with a specific focal fear, and talked about it somewhat on Twitter in 2020, which is both the bravest and possibly most foolish thing a person has ever done. POCD stands for pedophile-themed obsessive-compulsive disorder. It is foundationally defined by an obsessive fear of being or becoming a pedophile. The whole thing with intrusive thoughts that I think people don't get is this. They're horrible thoughts. We know that. We understand it. We feel it. We don't want to have them. They're just in our skulls now. We have to deal with that forever. We can try to think about something else, but that's just trying not to think about pink elephants. And this makes me remember, let me go see if I can find it. So this is one of the tabs that I read in my video, and we're not going to go through the entire thing again, but it's pedophilia, obsessive compulsive disorder. It's not what you think. They go through some myths and facts that are very weird. And then there's this comic in the middle of the article. There's this fucking comic here. And it might be a little hard to see. Pedophilia, OCD, it's not what you think. And this woman says, let's talk about the thoughts that have been worrying you. The ones about kids. And the man says, they really scare me. I don't like them. Sometimes I think things or have urges to do things that I know are wrong. With kids. And the woman says, have you ever acted on those urges? And the man says, no, never. But what if I do? What if I'm a horrible monster? And the woman says, you have something called POCD. You're not a monster, and you're not a pedophile. And the man says, can you help me? I can't even babysit my little sister because I don't want to hurt her or even think about hurting her. And the last panel says, POCD is treatable with appropriate assessment, treatment planning, and ERP, exposure and response prevention. It's on the whiteboard here. If I had read slightly to the right, you know, I would have been able to read it. But in this article advocating for POCD not being what you think, this man literally repeats MAP talking points. Have you ever acted on those urges? No, I'm a no contact MAP, the man says. He absolutely is a pedophile. He just doesn't want to be. Pedophilia OCD is characterized by intrusive, unwanted, distressing thoughts or urges about sex with children. These obsessions evoke such debilitating fear that individuals experience impairment in daily functioning. And when I went through this the first time, I said I would be willing to believe that this is 100% a real thing that exists. And especially would it affect people who had been abused or been around this kind of behavior as children, and they grow up and they have that mental damage and mental scarring from seeing or being a part of these things, and they're terrified they will complete the cycle and they will do the same things as their abusers or the people who are abusers around them, right? I can see that being incredibly reasonable. However, a lot of people seem to just be using this to repackage MAP talking points, and that is what bothers me. And this is something, once again, that seems like it's being co-opted and used for something to hide people who do not actually have this history of abuse that would have brought them to feeling this way. And additionally, in that factor, if you are someone who has these urges and you are terrified of it, I don't feel like you would seek out lolicon pornography or lolicon anything as a way to deal with it. I feel like you would want to stay away from that, right? Because that would trigger your POCD, would it not, if I'm thinking correctly? The entire point is that a portion of ourselves is betraying us. It knows what we fear, what we love, and what broke us before, even how close its last attempt was. What does this mean? It's not something you can reason with or fight. Hell, I don't even feel allowed to hate my BPD. Maybe I was too harsh on Anna, showing her harassers decency, if I can't even bring myself to hate my brain demon that tries to kill me regularly. There was no harassment campaign against Anna. Anna participated and threw gasoline on a harassment campaign. Anna is the harasser. Anna is the abuser. Anna is the bad person in this situation. More people should know about POCD and that it can be overcome, and Anna did a good thing by talking about it and her experiences. Even if she hadn't already overcome it, I'd be saying the same damn thing. It takes something difficult to talk about intrusive thought disorders and throws an extra shame garnish on it for good measure. Nevertheless, we live in the year of your Lord 2025 with fascists arresting judges and mayors and kidnapping children. Of course. So of course, early on May 14th, the harassment brigade found Anna's tweets about POCD. Having found the word pedophile and ignoring what the whole overcome and fear being a diagnostic criteria part, they kept calling her a pedo. I hope I don't have to explain that the second a trans woman does anything notable, positive or negative, there is someone whose hard drive probably should be evidence in some cases, in their little corner crying, "She's coming for your kids." Well, in Yara's case, they actually are, considering they're arguing that minors can consent to HRT and they haven't consented to puberty. This is just like a very filleting paragraph, honestly. I refuse to misgender even my hypothetical trans woman to accurately represent a troll. I suspect these tweets surfacing, and Anna being so upfronted with them on Blue Sky, likely had something to do with the article polls and Anna's statement that for the indefinite future, no more not safe for work coverage on Waypoint, and I detest saying that. That would be really interesting if Vice somehow saw those tweets, because I had nothing to do with that. I posted my cease and desist, and those articles came down like less than 12 hours later. And there was nothing about POCD in my cease and desist. Last of the Mohicans, thank you. Fucked up part is that you're willing to believe POCD is a thing that exists separately from just maps justifying themselves, because you can point to the story Jake the Snake Roberts told on Joe Rogan. I don't know what that story is, but yes, I completely agree with you. Right, like when you've been a victim of abuse or you've witnessed abuse as a child, that's going to fuck you up mentally. And so I can absolutely see someone who's been put in that situation developing an irrational OCD compulsion fear of becoming the same kind of abuser, right? Like that makes perfect sense to me, that this is actually partially a thing. The article completely ignoring Valen's playing an online children's game while hooked up to a vibrator. That too. And I also found out, I don't know if I have any like sources on it at the moment, but I also found out, actually no, I did play it. It was Harmful Opinions video. Anna Valen's not only posted that article talking about feeling the wiggling of the butt plug inside of them, and then later tried to retcon it into, oh, I only held the vibrator on my boobs, but they posted video of that to their adult websites. Me thinks something's a little weird about that. POCD can be a real thing. The problem is people co-opting it to hide inside the label, and many people misunderstood the video. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure. I don't like speak in layman terms sometimes, so. I needed to write this. It demanded escape from my brain. I spent the last 51 days watching a trans woman doing actual gaming journalism. It wasn't actual gaming journalism, as it had nothing to do with fucking gaming. It was about VTubers. And also, it wasn't journalism. It was Anna writing libel about people they didn't like, and politely asking communities to understand the ways their choices and words harmed marginalized people, only for those same people to basically, or baselessly, accuse her of worse. She did do worse. She started it. To request her suicide to try and shame her, don't do that. Death threats bad. I've had to move because of, like, threats with my address posted to them. All right, don't do that to other people. Well, breaking Twitch's TOS by reading one of Anna's pieces of 18-plus force femme ciscon erotica aloud. What? I cannot emphasize this enough. Brother, I read all sorts of fucking fan fiction on my stream, and it's never been an issue until your weirdos in your harassment campaign brigaded me to get me banned from reading it. Because for some reason, I guess, you were so offended by me reading it that your humiliation fetish didn't take over. I don't agree with her on everything. No two people ever will. Hell, I'm rather proud of that quote skeet on how my opinion on the term fuda differs from hers. She has done nothing wrong, save what journalists are supposed to do. If Anna's doing what journalists are supposed to do, then all of them should get fired. You know why I had to write this? Someone will see these 3,000 words on transphobia brand deals, the fascist lean in world politics, and the harassment of a journalist, read VTube and Gamergate in the first few paragraphs, and they'll decide, oh, this is just gamer drama. No, it's people lying. No, it's right-wing assholes threatening and harassing a journalist for revealing that fascism to a wired audience, all of which is embroiled in a multi-billion-dollar video game industry and the multi-million-dollar streaming and VTuber markets. Congratulations! We've entered a world where the gamers, TM, are a dominant market force, and they still suck. VTubing has a right-wing and bigotry problem. VTubing has a fascist problem. Streaming has a fascist problem. The planet has a fascist problem, and folks call it drama. The story is actively ongoing, so just to give you a quick picture of things that happened in the last week or so while I was working on this, Kirsche received a one-day Twitch ban for reading Anna's erotica, while Anna got a ban for some several-month-old clips, which I'll argue are more surreal than sexual, but sure. No, if you're gonna agree with my ban, you gotta agree with Anna's ban. They actually do sexual content on stream, two fetishes they've admitted to having. There's another labeler running around Blue Sky, marking people using the I Stand With Anna Valens tag as spam or harassers. Not to mention, they're also a Zionist and pro-Nazi, and yes, that is a very common combination. How do these people keep calling Jews Nazis, and people still take them seriously for some reason? Can anyone answer that question? Are they just like holocausting themselves now? Like what? I don't understand. Oy vey, mine leader. How is that a combo? I don't know. Maybe Nux can explain it to me since he's apparently is a fucking Jewish Nazi. Go support Anna. Oh boy. This has in many ways deplatformed her. And she has 11 articles published on Vice the week of April 27th. Last week she published 2. Here's her link tree and her Ko-Fi. Yeah, she's not been deplatformed. She can actually just continue doing what she's doing. Again, I am the original target of the harassment campaign. Anna poured gasoline on that and wanted to get me dropped from my sponsors. This is all Anna's own doing. And Anna running away is a calculated move to try and boost their victim status. I have not left any social medias. I have not stopped streaming. I had to pause a few days. I had to cancel a few streams so I could move locations because of threats posted with my address. But aside from that, I'm still doing what I usually do. And Anna could very well continue doing what they usually do as well. Similarly, you can support me here on Patreon or Ko-Fi, so maybe I can get these done a little faster and maybe not spend most of my days staring down the hopeless barrel of being a trans woman who's been, well, doing shit like this since she came out. All the articles, blah, blah, blah. Update 523, apparently harassers have been mass reporting Anna's throne, and she's asked that folks share her Ko-Fi. What the fuck? Can't add things like pay my rent on it. Oh, they added like fucking pay my rent. Yeah, no, you can't do that on Throne. Imagine breaking Throne's TOS and then getting mad about it. Holy shit. So who's this author? So their like little bio here. We got Jade Evergreen and the Perils of Polybius. Gamergate Never Ended. That's what we just read. Oh, they're fucking thing. What is this? It doesn't take much. It wants to be yours. It just needs to be shown how. Be clear with your mutt. It's rewards for good behavior. That's the... It's punishments for misbehavior. It wants to be owned. It wants to be a good puppy for you. It merely needs to be shown how. Words are hard for a mutt. She needs to learn how to show you her love. Chat, is this pet play fetish as a poorly disguised poem? Is this poorly disguised pet play fetish? They're already coming for thee. Poetry trans experience, a foundation of sand and mud. Pet play fetish for sure. Holy Christ. I love being a trans woman on the internet in Musk's America. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Pretty standard articles, I suppose, here. Let me see. This has with porn in it, so I'm gonna take down my browser for a second here. Oh boy. So, let me see here. Spicier content? Beacons? Layer of lewd? So, I think... So, you can't really see the author's picture up in the top here. It's very tiny. But, like, they have their social media accounts and stuff clicked, and if you click on their spicier content button, it opens something called beacons.ai. At Lair of Lewd, your friendly, not at all local, but extremely horny T-girl. And they have horny tweets, Blue Sky, Fansly, OnlyFans, Throne, and then safe for work content. So, I guess my assumption at what this person was at the beginning of reading the article is correct, and no wonder they are defending Anna Valens. Oh wow, wow! It continues to be true. That's crazy. That's every single time. Every single time.